Manchester United, 14 years after Sir Alex Ferguson, 14 years of rebuilds, 14 years of trust the process, and enough new eras to fill an entire Netflix series. But this season feels different. There's a United manager that seems to believe in, and there is a clear identity. There are new signings, are there? And suddenly people are talking about Manchester United with a little bit more excitement. So Gaurav, are Manchester United actually back in the Premier League?
That gave me goosebumps, bro, for two reasons.
Okay.
One is that we haven't done anything in 14 years.
And the second?
And the second is that
Enough signings?
enough signings. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Okay.
Frankly, no. I think if I'm being realistic and I put my sensible hat on, no, I don't think Manchester United are back. We overachieved last season, and most sane and rational football fans would have you believe that it's an okay transfer window that we're having, but the delusional part in me says that this is not a good enough transfer window. So I don't think United are back, unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say.
Is there anything about this United team that you are optimistic about for the next season?
I think at this point it's probably Carrick himself, because what he's shown is he's able to work with what he already has. And I know like the signings have not really come through. That just seems to like be a theme with Ineos in general. But we saw at least like in the preseason games that he was kind of able to make it work with like Mason Mount playing slightly deeper. Even Andre Santos looked pretty good. Tielemans looked good yesterday. We still have Bruno and Kobe to come in. So I think if he can kind of manage that well enough, we may not really have the need to go for like an out and out, number 6 sort of destroyer in midfield. In which case, I think we could, maybe still be competing for that top 4 again this season.
Top 4.
I do think so. I agree. I think I don't think it was bad enough in the sense that we will probably finish 15th again, like under Amorim, but I think the team or squad is good enough to still maybe be up there in 4th, 5th place and manage to secure that. But I don't think,
Okay, wait. You saw Carrick as a manager for a year. Considering this year and considering that next year your optimism is, him being there, would you trust Carrick with the next 5-year project at United at this point in time?
Is that for me or Jarvis?
Anyone?
I think I would. 100%. Yeah, I would actually trust him. Purely because I think he has shown the ability to, like Jarvis said, work with what he has. And even tactically speaking, he has shown, even in the sort of 6-7 months that we had with him from January onwards, he's shown enough tactical flexibility that he can come up against teams like City, Arsenal, and go kind of toe-to-toe with them, give them a tough fight.
And edge them too.
At the end and manage to get that win.
Yeah.
On the opposite end, when you're facing those sort of low block teams like your Burnleys and etc., he also showed that they can play a different style to adjust to the opposition. And I think what also works with Carrick quite a bit at the moment is that he understands the players quite well. I think he gets the players buy-in immediately. And from what I heard, also some journalists were reporting that one of the first things he did as soon as he came in was sit down with all the players individually, one-on-one, ask them, what do you think, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, what do you think is your preferred position and which is another position where you feel comfortable playing? So he's already trying to understand from the player's point of view, okay, I'm a number 10, but I don't mind if you play me in 8 or 6 sometimes. I feel comfortable. So he really understands from the player's perspective. He doesn't want to try and force too many systems into their brains. And instead, he wants to just give them a platform of basic principles that when they go out on the pitch, they can kind of execute and make on-pitch decisions themselves and give them the freedom and around this kind of functional principle that works, I think.
Okay. Jarvis, would you still trust him if United don't win any cup next season?
I think it depends more on what kind of tangible progress we see on the pitch, right? Because if, as per what he said, like the idea is to basically try and make us a more possession-based team and a team that controls games and not have to always basically sit back and play on the counter. So if I can see like an improvement in that sense, and I can see us at least have like a semi-decent Premier League run and also like a decent Cup run, maybe a Champions League run also, yeah. And if maybe the market sort of like corrects itself, this is again, I'm just like shooting in the dark. I'm being optimistic. If the market, like transfer window, like the market like corrects itself and like prices are not as inflated, and we know that he will continue to be back with the right signings, then I could make a case for him staying on.
I think also like if you think about it, like one of the things is that we have lacked is consistency over the last few years, depending on who the manager is. Sometimes you feel like you've turned a corner, you win 3 games in a row,
Yeah.
and then you take 2 steps backwards by losing 5 games in a row. So I think if Carrick can manage to, Carrick with the help of Ineos, I hope, can manage to bring that stability in the team, at least that it's not so up and down all the time, that in a season you go through these patches
Yeah.
where we are on top and then we all of a sudden have these massive lows, massive highs.
Massive lows. Yeah.
I think if we can consistently become a team that is performing at the top level, being in and around the top 4, showing that we have the ability to beat low block teams, mid block, high press
So
teams.
even without a trophy, you would still keep him.
I would still keep him. I think if we see enough
So
tangible evidence on the pitch that the team is improving, we are getting better as a unit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So United means identity, right? Like you guys had an identity under Ferguson and
Yeah.
everything he created. So would you say Carrick has finally brought back identity to Manchester United? Or what is it? High intense attacking football, pressing, possession. What do you want to watch like in the first few games that you want to dominate? Like, are you on the ball all the time? Are you pressing off the ball?
I would say, yeah, just like a front-footed approach and like not take this sort of passive approach that we've seen us like do in games quite often.
Yeah.
Especially like Gaurav said, against like low block teams, like you want to always see us like kind of pushing for that goal. Even games where we like a lot of times find ourselves like 1 goal up or like 2 goals up, we don't like tend to like put our foot down on the gas and like just go and like go for the kill, right, and like get the win. Whereas that's something like the United of old used to do, and I think that's something that we want to see, just that sort of relentless sort of front-footed attacking football.
All right.
I think
Okay.
one thing we're gonna see definitely, and we've seen that already with like 6-7 months of Carrick, is that it is fun and entertaining football. Might not be for most United fans who are not watching it from a neutral perspective, but as a neutral, I imagine it's fun to watch because United have, that's one thing you could not say about United in the last 14 years consistently.
That's probably identity, right?
They were not fun to watch. Under Carrick, I think it is hard to dispute or deny that the football we were playing was front-footed and entertaining to watch. So I think this season we might see a little bit more of that also. And I think identity being back, part of it is also that even under Fergie, and there was a lot of this discussion, right? Even when Amorim was here, a lot of the ex-United players were debating like Gary Neville and Rio, and it's like, what is the United identity? Do they need to bring that back? The United identity has never been, to be frank, like a 3 at the background. That's what they were trying to do with Ruben Amorim. It was never that. The United identity purely is that you play front-footed attacking football that is tactically flexible depending on the opposition that you play. Sometimes it means you sit back and then you counterattack. Sometimes it means you're front-footed, possessing the ball. Sometimes it means it's gung-ho, end-to-end, heavy metal style. It is what it needs to be depending on the opposition you are playing. That I think is the identity of
Perfectly said. That's great. Just adapt. Great. So let's get ambitious. If everything goes right, United actually challenge for the Premier League title. Jarvis?
Are you asking if they actually will?
Yeah, will they?
Man, I don't even want to say that I'm a pessimist, but I'm just a realist at this point, bro. And it's like been so many years, right? That I do think it'll be hard just because a lot of other teams have also strengthened. So I do think it'll be harder in that sense. Like you have, I think both Chelsea and Spurs not playing in Europe right now, right, Gaurav?
Yeah. They're both like one game a week.
A week, right? That's something we'll have to contend with. So yeah, I don't know. I'm saying top 4 realistically.
Top 4. Gaurav?
Let me
Gaurav, convince me.
The delusional side is gonna either come out. As you can see in my background, that is
Germany,
my prediction.
bro. Germany.
They're going out
Germany
in the round of 36 only in the Champions League.
They're getting out. So as you can see, my prediction is that number 21 is coming this season. I'll tell you why. I'll give you the complete opposite, devil's advocate situation, okay?
Okay.
As you're saying, I think this is going to be one of the most open Premier League races we have seen.
Possibly.
What? Pep Guardiola is gone. Enzo Maresca, questions remain. What kind of manager is he really? Is he just a copycat? He's trying to figure out his system. Does he have a system? Or he seems to be copying a bunch of things from everyone. It's not the same type when Pep took over City from the previous manager. It's not the same. Chelsea, Spurs, I agree, have 1 game a week, but both of them are basically a little bit like working with squads that are not really, I think, built in their identity fully yet. Alonso, as we also saw under Real Madrid, first few months go well, and then all of a sudden players start to get really tired and the buy-in starts.
I think Xabi Alonso is going to do something
He could.
Well done.
I'm not saying. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they will not do well. But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
the team that is best placed right now, I would
Yeah.
say, are two teams. That is United and Arsenal. Arsenal have injuries to their important players like Saliba, Declan Rice, Saka. These guys are were heavily involved last season, including deep into the World Cup runs, and that has historically proven to be one of the reasons why those types of players don't actually continue on with that form into the next season. So I'm just saying right now, as it stands, 2026, United are top of the table, and I think Carrick is going to continue that onward. And I just don't see how we don't get it this season, bro. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be December 25th, that Boxing Day, and United are gonna be top of the league, 10 points clear.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
okay. Let's do a rapid fire. Gaurav, United finished top 4,
Yes.
top 3.
Yes.
Jervis, are they in the title challenge till the last month?
No.
Will they win the trophy?
The Prem?
Yeah. Gaurav, Carrick still the long-term manager?
Yes, he is.
Does Rashford has a big season?
No.
No.
Guys, unanimously. Okay, are United actually back?
No. After saying all that, I'm gonna say no.
But there's like a caveat. Like a lot of times, like, see, the thing is, when like you've got all the pieces of the puzzle, right? Like right now, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
No. Yeah.